Asia is open right now, and in 7 countries, many travelers can skip the old visa stress completely. No embassy appointment, no passport sent away, no weeks of waiting. Just check your passport rules, fill in the right arrival form if required, and go. But the easiest country on this list is not the one most people think. And the final country is still one of Asia's biggest travel bargains, even though its entry rules are changing fast. Starting with the country that gives many visitors 3 full months, Malaysia. Malaysia is one of the easiest gateways into Asia in 2026. Many travelers can enter visa-free for up to 90 days, which is not a quick stopover. That is enough time to properly explore the country instead of rushing through Kuala Lumpur in 2 nights. And Kuala Lumpur is the obvious starting point. The Petronas Towers dominate the skyline, but the real reason people fall in love with the city is lower down at street level. Nasi lemak at breakfast, roti canai for $1, char kway teow in a plastic chair restaurant that somehow tastes better than anything served with a white tablecloth. Malaysia is clean enough to feel easy, cheap enough to feel exciting, and diverse enough that it never feels like one country with one personality. Head north and Penang gives you one of the best food cities in Asia. Head to Langkawi and you get beaches without the chaos of more famous island chains. Go east to Borneo and the whole country changes again. Rainforests, orangutans, caves, mountains, and wildlife that feels impossible so close to modern cities. The catch is not the visa. It is the arrival form. Malaysia requires most foreign visitors to complete the Malaysia Digital Arrival Card before entering. It is free and online, but skipping it can create problems at immigration. So do not treat Malaysia as just show up and hope. Treat it as easy, but not careless. That is the first rule of this video. Visa-free does not mean paperwork-free. It means the old visa line is gone. But the smart traveler still checks the official rules before boarding. And if Malaysia gives you the easiest soft landing, the next country gives you the opposite. A huge, underrated adventure almost nobody has on their Asia list. Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is one of the most overlooked countries in Asia, which is exactly why it belongs here. Many passport holders can enter visa-free for around 30 days, with limits on total stays over a longer period. 30 days is enough to experience a country that feels nothing like the standard Southeast Asia trail. Astana looks like a futuristic city dropped into the middle of the steppe. Glass towers, strange monuments, giant public spaces, and architecture that feels halfway between sci-fi and national ambition. Almaty is the more livable one. Cafes, mountains, parks, Soviet-era boulevards, and day trips that make the city feel like a base camp rather than just a capital alternative. Then outside the cities, Kazakhstan gets wild. Charon Canyon feels like a Central Asian version of the American Southwest. Big Almaty Lake sits in the mountains like something edited for color. The steppe stretches so far, that distance starts to feel different. And if you want horse culture, yurt stays, mountain roads, and landscapes that most tourists never see, Kazakhstan delivers. But this is not the easiest country on the list. Distances are enormous. Public transport between remote places can be limited. English is not universal. And trying to wing everything without mobile data or offline maps is asking for a miserable day. For countries like Kazakhstan, Saili eSIM is useful because you can land with mobile data already active instead of hunting for a SIM card after a long flight. Link below. Kazakhstan is for the traveler who wants fewer crowds, bigger landscapes, and something that feels genuinely different. But the next country brings the list back to a classic Asian travel route. And it now gives many visitors more time than before. Vietnam. Vietnam is one of the best value travel countries on Earth. And for many eligible passport holders, visa-free entry can now stretch up to 45 days. that matters because Vietnam is not a country you want to rush. Start in Hanoi, where the old quarter feels like controlled chaos. Scooters everywhere, coffee shops hidden upstairs, faux kitchens that look basic until the first spoonful explains everything. Then go east to Halong Bay, where limestone islands rise out of green water like a place that should not be real. Move down to Hoi An, and the pace changes. Lanterns, riverside restaurants, tailors, beaches nearby, and old streets that look almost too photogenic at night. Then finish in Ho Chi Minh City, where modern Vietnam moves fast, loud, and hungry. The beauty of Vietnam is the route. It has a natural north to south story. You do not need to invent the trip. The country almost lays it out for you, and the cost is still excellent. Street food is cheap. Local transport is cheap. Domestic flights and trains make longer journeys realistic even on a modest budget. But Vietnam is also where the nationality warning matters. The 45-day visa-free rule does not apply to everyone. Some travelers still need an e-visa. Some get different treatment depending on passport. And rules can change, so Vietnam is easy for the right passport, but not universal. That is the second rule of this video. Do not copy someone else's entry rules from a comment section. Your passport is the only one that matters. And the next country proves that a shorter stay can still be enough if the country is easy to move through. Taiwan. Taiwan is one of the most underrated places in Asia for travelers who want safety, food, nature, and convenience in one trip. Depending on nationality, many visitors can enter visa-free for 14, 30, or 90 days. The exact number depends on the passport. But the bigger point is this. Taiwan is one of the easiest places in Asia to travel well, even if the stay is short. Taipei alone can carry the trip. Taipei 101 still dominates the skyline. The metro is spotless. The city feels safe late at night. And then there are the night markets. Shilin, Raohe, Ningxia. Grilled meats, bubble tea, pepper buns, fried chicken, stinky tofu, and cues that somehow make the food feel more exciting rather than annoying. But Taiwan's real surprise is how quickly the city turns into nature. Taroko Gorge has marble cliffs, tunnels, rivers, and trails that feel dramatic without requiring a full expedition. Hot springs are scattered across the island. Sun Moon Lake gives a slower mountain lake feel. Alishan gives mist, tea, forests, and sunrise views. Kenting gives beaches and a completely different southern energy. Taiwan is modern, friendly, efficient, and one of the easiest countries in Asia for nervous first-time visitors. The catch is time. If your passport only gives 14 days, you cannot do everything. Even 30 days disappears quickly if you try to include Taipei, Taroko, Alishan, the East Coast, and the South. So Taiwan rewards planning. Pick a lane: food and cities, nature, and hot springs. Or a short loop that does not turn the whole trip into a train timetable. And if Taiwan is the smooth island option, the next country is the ultimate frictionless stopover: Singapore. Singapore is not the cheapest country on this list, not even close. But it may be the easiest. Many visitors can enter Singapore without a traditional tourist visa, and the arrival system is one of the smoothest in the world. The key requirement is the SG arrival card, which must be submitted before arrival by most travelers. Once that is handled, Singapore often feels like travel with the sharp edges removed. The airport works, the trains work, the streets are clean, the signs make sense. The city is compact enough that a short stay actually works. Marina Bay Sands gives the skyline shot. Gardens by the Bay gives the futuristic postcard. Chinatown, Little India, Kampong Glam, and the hawker centers give the real texture. And the food is the main event. Chicken rice, laksa, satay, chili crab, kaya toast. Michelin-recognized hawker stalls where the meal still arrives on a plastic tray. Singapore works best as a clean reset between longer trips. 3 days before Malaysia, 2 days before Vietnam, a comfortable stop before heading deeper into Asia. The catch is obvious. Cost? Accommodation can be expensive. A casual day in Singapore costs much more than a casual day in Malaysia, Vietnam, or Thailand. Budget travelers can still manage, but they need to plan accommodation early and avoid drifting into tourist pricing. For short stopovers, Expedia is useful for comparing hotel locations before booking. Because in Singapore, the wrong district can make a short trip feel much harder than it needs to be. Link below. Singapore is not the cheap option. It is the easy option. But the next country may be the biggest temporary entry rule opportunity on the list. South Korea. South Korea has always been popular, but entry has become even easier for many travelers during the temporary KETA exemption period. Normally, visa-free travelers may need a Korea electronic travel authorization before flying. But for eligible nationalities during the exemption window, that pre-approval requirement is temporarily waived. That means South Korea can feel much more like a simple passport and go destination than it used to. And once you arrive, Seoul hits fast. Gyeongbokgung Palace sits in the middle of a city that feels permanently switched on. Myeongdong gives shopping and street food. Hongdae gives nightlife and youth culture. Bukchon Hanok Village gives traditional houses tucked between modern cafes. The global Korean wave makes the country feel familiar before you arrive, but the real place is better than the online version. Food is a major reason to go. Korean barbecue, taetyeokbokki, kimchi jjigae, bibimbap, street toast in the morning, convenience store meals that are better than they have any right to be. And beyond Seoul, the country opens up. Busan gives beaches and seafood. Jeonju gives traditional food culture. The mountains give hiking. The rail network makes it easy to move quickly without feeling lost. The catch is that the KETA exemption is temporary and nationality specific. It has been extended through 2026 for eligible countries, but that does not mean every traveler is covered forever. So, South Korea is one of the easiest countries to enter right now, if your passport qualifies. But it is also one of the most important countries on this list to verify before booking. Because temporary waivers have expiry dates. And that brings us to the final country, the one everyone thinks they know. But the entry rules are shifting underneath it. Thailand. Thailand has been the classic easy entry Asia destination for years. Beaches, temples, street food, islands, mountains, nightlife, wellness retreats, and one of the most mature tourism systems in the world. For many travelers, Thailand has offered visa-free entry with generous stay periods. But in 2026, the important part is not just that Thailand is open. It is that Thailand's rules are changing. The government approved a rollback of the broad 60-day visa exemption scheme toward a shorter 30-day structure for many travelers. Depending on timing, nationality, and implementation, the stamp someone receives may not match the advice they read months earlier. That makes Thailand the perfect final country for this video. Because it is still open. It is still easy. But it proves why checking the latest official rules matters. Bangkok is still one of the greatest cities in Asia. Chaotic, delicious, exhausting, and addictive. Temples glowing in the heat. Rooftop bars above traffic. Street food that makes expensive restaurants feel unnecessary. Chiang Mai offers the slower northern version. Mountains, markets, coffee, temples, and a softer pace. The islands give every type of trip. Koh Samui for comfort, Koh Phangan for energy, Koh Lanta for calm, Krabi for cliffs and beaches, Phuket for convenience, smaller islands for people who want to disappear for a while. Thailand works because it can be whatever kind of trip someone wants. Cheap, backpacking trip. Comfortable holiday? Food tour? Wellness reset? Island escape? First solo trip? Long stay experiment? but the catch is the same as the opportunity. The rules are in motion. Thailand also requires digital arrival registration, and overstaying even by a single day can create fines and problems. So, do not rely on old TikToks, old blog posts, or what someone did 2 years ago. Check the current rule. Check your stamp. Know the extension options before arrival. Thailand is still one of the best all-round countries in Asia, but in 2026, the smart traveler treats it as easy, not automatic. For deeper country guides, entry rule updates, and travel scouting breakdowns, Horizon Insider is linked below. Here is the real takeaway. Asia is not closed, complicated, or only for people willing to fight through visa paperwork. Malaysia gives many travelers up to 90 days. Kazakhstan gives a wide-open adventure with visa-free access for many passports. Vietnam gives one of the best travel routes in the world, with 45 days for eligible visitors. Taiwan gives safety, food, and nature in a compact island. Singapore gives the smoothest stopover in Asia. South Korea has a temporary KETA waiver for eligible nationalities. Thailand remains one of the great easy entry travel countries, even as the rules change. But the mistake is thinking visa-free means no rules. It does not. It means the door is easier to open. The smart move is to check the official entry rules, fill in the required arrival cards, and build the trip around the passport you actually hold. So, which country would you visit first? Malaysia, Kazakhstan, Vietnam, Taiwan, Singapore, South Korea, or Thailand? Drop it in the comments.